Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today I got a little project we're going to be doing on lathe and making an adapter for this instrument right here. So recently I purchased an autocollimator, and this is a very precision tool for making measurements. Basically it's used for making angle measurements, and it's used in doing calibration. It's used in doing machine alignments and so forth like that. This is kind of a telescope-like looking device that you look down. There's an eyepiece on this end. It comes through here. There's a mirror right here. And what you do is you slide this mirror down with the surface that you're testing, and it reflects back through the instrument from a light source. I've got to get a light source hooked in here. Right now I'm just using a little flashlight, but a light source goes through here and it comes back, and when you look through the telescope, there's a set of crosshairs in here and there's an adjusting piece over here. There's actually two sets of crosshairs, and what you do is you line them up. So there's a set of lines in there, and you got a crosshair here that you can adjust back and forth. You move that line inside of there, and you can actually read off of this. It's graduated in 0.2 second increments, and that's 0.2 seconds of an arc. So if you think of a circle has 360 degrees. Each degree is divided into 60 minutes. Each minute is divided into 60 seconds. This instrument here is capable of measuring a change in angle at 0.2 seconds of an arc, which is extremely accurate. And using some math, you can basically use this tool to determine flatness by looking at differences in angles as it goes across. And I'm real excited to have this. I can use it for calibrating surface plates. I can use it for, one of the main things I want to use it for is in machine restorations for doing alignment work. And that's really one of the main reasons that I got it. So anyway, long story there, but I recently got one, but it comes with a catch. I got a really good deal on this one because it was missing the eyepiece. The eyepiece was gone off of it. I said, you know what, I think I can come up with a solution to that, and I have. And what I've got here, this is an eyepiece. This is actually an eyepiece off of a microscope, and it will work with this. I can come in here and kind of place it in there and look down through there and see that it's going to work fine. What I've got to do is come up with an adapter, though, to go from the mount ring on this to be able to mount the microscope eyepiece into. And I'm going to zoom in here and kind of show you what we got, and we're going to make a piece to do just that over on the lathe. So this particular autocollimator is made by Hilger-Watts. Hilger-Watts was a company in the UK that made all kinds of precision instruments. Unfortunately, they're no longer in business, so it's not like you can just call them up and order replacement parts for it. And I was not able to find anywhere that had an eyepiece that matched this. Now, they may exist, but my searches came up empty. So I've done a little bit of investigating. I actually had another part. This is actually for the light source up here, but I was able to unscrew it, and lo and behold, it's got the exact same thread that screws up into here. So, and it's an oddball thread. It measures, the outside diameter of this is 1 inch 57 thousandths, which does not really go to any nominal size in either inch or metric that I can figure out. It's 40 threads per inch, but hey, I got a lathe. I can make that thread. That's not a problem. So anyway, fortunately, I had this piece that had the same threads that I was able to get in there and measure them. So anyway, I've got a little drawing here. I'm not even going to bother showing it to you. It's just a little chicken scratch drawing that kind of has what I need for the do. But basically, I need to make a threaded piece that comes up inside of here. It'll be drilled and bored on the inside so that this little eyepiece can slide up inside of it. May do a little set screw or something in there to set it in place. I haven't decided yet. And then this is actually a focusing eyepiece. That piece actually adjusts in and out. So you can fine tune and adjust it, but I just need to hold this in place. And like I said, I can hold it up there by hand and look through there and see that it's working. I just need that adapter plate to go through there. So I've got a piece of brass I'm going to make this out of. Looks like most of the original stuff here is brass in here, so I decided, hey, I'll just stick with it. So let's go over to the lathe and we'll get started making this part. I'm going to do this job over on my 16-inch Monarch lathe. And again, there's a piece of brass. It's 1.25 inch diameter, about 1 foot long. I'm only going to need less than 1 inch of this. Leave me some sticking out there to work with. Go ahead and get that chucked up. And we're going to start, I think, I want the outside diameter of this piece to be 1 inch 100 thousandths in diameter. Again, we're at 1.25 inches, so that's 250. So I need to take 150 thousandths off that diameter, and again, just go in about 1 inch on there. So I'll face it off and we'll get that turning, and that'll get us a starting point. All right, we're going to start by just facing this off. So we'll just come in here. Get us a nice face on there. I need to go in about 1 inch. Make me a mark there to turn to. All right, so we're right at 200 thousand. I got 100 thou to go. I'm gonna speed this lathe up a little bit more. $50 thou. We're up to 720 RPMs. That seems to be turning pretty good. Should be pretty close, right on the money, and we are. So, all right, next, I need to turn down the end that's going to screw in down here to 1.057, so we got about 50 more. I'm going to just touch off. I'll use a dial indicator here over on the carriage to get my 200 thou depth. 100. 200 right there. You take 17 thou off. $10, $15, $16, $17, about right there. All right, I need some relief in the back side of that for that thread. And I just want 100 thou face that will thread on. This is an approximate. All right, that gives me a surface to thread on right there. Okay. I'm going to double check this diameter here, and we're right on the money. Okay. Next, I want to drill a 7/8 inch hole through here. I'm going to start by just putting a little center point in here to get a drill bit started right in the middle. That's good. Got a 3/8 inch drill bit to start that out with. We'll drill that in an inch deep. That's a little over an inch. Now we got a 7/8 inch drill bit. We'll take it on in as well. We're set up and ready to start threading. We're going to be threading 40 threads per inch. It's a very fine pitch, but shouldn't be a problem to do on this machine. I've gone over to my machinery's handbook and I've looked up the depth of the thread is 21 thousandths. So I've got an indicator set up. I'm basically at 0 right now. We need to go 21 thousandths. Should get us to the correct depth according to the book. We're running about 205 RPMs. And I'm going to start. I'm just going to dial in. We're just going to dial in about 5 thou, and we're going to let this come across there and make a scratch fast. Double check to make sure that we're good. Waiting on my number to come up on my thread dial here. And there we go. We'll come out. And I want to get my pitch gauge here and just verify, and we are doing 40 threads per inch. All right, I think I'm just going to do a couple of passes here at about 5 thou per pass. And wait for my number to come back up on the thread dial down here. And here we go. Dial in another 5. All right, let's do another pass or 2. All right, we're on 20 now. I'm gonna go ahead and do 20, and then we'll dial in that last thou and make that last pass. Again, waiting on my number to come around. Just thread in a thou and wait for my number to come around. That should be it. So what I'm going to do is get that out of the way. I'm going to see if I can thread that on there. Give me just a minute. All right, my test fit checked out. So we're going to just part this off now. Just got a parting tool. I'll come in here and catch it with this. I've already got that set to length. There we go. All right, I'm set up over here now, and we're going to be doing a little boring to get this thing to size. So we drilled this to 875. My piece that goes up in here is about 911 thousandths. So I need to bore that out. A little bit oversized. I'm going to go 450 thousandths deep. I've got an indicator set up over here. Whoops, with a stop. It'll let me kind of reach in there or see where I'm going on my depth. So I'm going to just come in here. We'll touch off. And I'm just going to start with a real light pass. And I'm just watching my indicator over here to see where to stop at. That's 200 thou, 300 thou, 400 thou deep. Right there's 450. Pull that out. In here with my calipers and see where I'm at. So we're about 897. So I need another 14 thou. I'm gonna dial in 10 and we'll sneak up on it. All right, we should be within about 1 thou of this thing fitting. It's wanting to go, but it's not. So I'm just going to take about a 2 thou cut. It's wanting to go, but it's not quite there yet. There it goes. I'm going to take this out, go over to the autocollimator, and let's see how she fits. Let's see how she goes here. So we come in, screw it in. My thread may be just a little bit on the loose side, but the nice thing is that it goes up against the shoulder in there, and when it does, everything tightens up very nicely. That fits in there. My little lens is here. Again, this is adjustable. It has a little micro adjustment in here for focusing. And just so you know, let's see, this lens is made by Leitz, L-E-I-T-Z, in Germany. Very nice lens, and it's a 6.3x magnification on it. And I'm going to take a peek in here, and it's a little fuzzy there, and that is perfectly focused right there. So there you go. Nice new eyepiece. To replace the one that was missing on this one, I bought this microscope eyepiece off of eBay for about 15 bucks. But again, it's a very nice, high quality German made eyepiece, but it was just a use when it came off of a microscope. And little piece of brass. Presto, we've got a new eyepiece. We're in business here on the Autocollimator. One other little thing we just did for this as well, and I did it off camera. I wasn't sure this was going to work out, so I just kind of did it real quick. But I made this little adapter right here. This is where the light source comes in. Originally, it had a little light bulb that would go in here that had to go to a power supply, and I just said, you know what, we're just going to put a little flashlight. I had this little LED flashlight, and I just turned this out of a piece of plastic that I had laying around in the shop. It was the same type thing, 40 threads per inch. It was a 1 3/8" diameter. Threaded that, fits down in there. There's a little green lens in here that kind of colors the light so that you can see it better. And anyway, the flashlight just kind of fits right in that socket up on top, and you can use it in either up and down or side to side, depending on which direction you're wanting to go. And it stays in there nicely. So another little quick job on the lathe. And I think that this autocollimator is ready to go to work. I think we got it all put back together and in all good shape. Well, there we go. I've taken a useless piece of junk and turned it into a functioning autocollimator. Well, maybe not useless, but at least it wasn't complete. And I think it's in good shape. I think it's ready to go. Everything looks like it's reading correctly in here. I can make adjustments with it. So I'm gonna have to play around with this and really learn how to use it. Now, one thing that also still probably need to do is that these things came with some feet that went up underneath the points. You really don't need it if it's on something like a surface plate, but if you wanted to have some bigger feet, those come with the set. Mine didn't have one, but that's an easy make. I just need to get the dimensions on it to make a set of those. And again, like on a granite surface plate, you probably just run it without it, but in some cases you do want to have those larger pads up underneath it. But other than that, she's ready to go. And I'm gonna play around with this thing, learn how to use it, and we'll probably be seeing more of this in some upcoming videos. Excited to have this new tool in the shop. This is an incredible precision measuring tool, and I think it's gonna allow me to do some things that I haven't been able to do before. So anyway, looking forward to playing with it and learning how to use it. And with that, that's gonna be a wrap on this episode. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Comments are appreciated. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And guys, we'll catch you on the next video.